start our. All right, everybody, it's 6:03. Let's call the meeting to order. This is a special meeting, so I appreciate everybody coming to join us. It's intended to be very focused on a couple things that have to happen tonight, short and sweet. So we're going to go right to our special topics and turn it over to Glenn because he's got a bunch of proposals and change orders and invoices and so forth and so on. So Glenn, it's all yours.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I don't know, Joe, Sharon, would you like to assist me? I don't know what you have for printed materials available. I was going to start out with my proposals, starting with advanced performance glass. I have that first. That's for the picture window fabrication and installation in the staff room.
It has all been distributed, so we should all have it. It all went out today.
That was actually on the agenda.
Right, today. Yes.
The original packet that had voices. Had this on it.
All right, this is for the 3x5 window in the staff room through advanced performance glass. So the framing, the glass, the installation, and the amount of $2,300.
Any questions on that from anyone? How about a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Moved by Bob Berman and seconded by Jesse. Thank you very much. Questions, Bob?
Is the JF for a different window?
No, these vendors, John Filaramo is the mason associated with the rough-in work for this window.
Okay.
So there's actually 3 proposals. One is advanced performance glass. John Filaramo is the second. The masonry work that includes the rough-in and the lentil detail, and the amount of $1,500.
All right, Bob, you okay on this? This is the window only.
Yeah.
Once the hole is made.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor of approving advanced performance glass, the amount of $2,300, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you. Next one.
Yeah, please approve all 3 because we'll just end up with a hole. Okay.
Well, right now you got a window to hold in your lap.
So, okay, and John Filaramo is next, $1,500 for the rough-in and lentil detail for this picture window.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike, seconded by Mr. Berman. Hey, Glenn, you need to have him correct this. In numbers, it says 1,500, but as Bob pointed out to me earlier, in words, it says something higher than $1,500. If you'll notice.
Okay. Yeah, I like the numbers better myself.
All right, so our motion is
no
based
problem.
Our motion is based on $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Moved and seconded. And questions? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you.
Okay, and the third and final proposal associated with this window installation is from Oscar's Abatement in the amount of $7,000. They are going to abate the blown-in vermiculite in the exterior CMU wall.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike.
Second.
By Mr. Berman. If I recall, is this the sum total of all the abatement we're going to have to be doing, Glenn?
That's correct.
Because we had a big placeholder in there of some 50 some odd $1,000, didn't we?
Yes. So it varies greatly from one contractor to the other for abatement. There was a large range of numbers that had come in. Oscar's was the most favorable.
Okay. I guess we really didn't understand the scope either until we got into the work, so,
Okay.
okay, cool questions.
And let me see here. Hopefully I didn't misspeak. I have my papers shuffled. So John Filoramo, we approved one for $1,500.
Right.
That was the CMU repair in the adjacent staff lounge. If you recall, we did the plumbing rough in. I had Boivair Plumbing come out and move that plumbing for the new millwork that's going to be installed through Red Thread. That's $1,500.
Okay, so that's the one we just approved.
Correct.
Okay, hold on, we've got a motion to approve Oscars here. Any other questions on Oscars abatement? All in favor of approving Oscars abatement in the amount of $7,000, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Nays? Okay, motion passes.
Okay, so the proposal from John Filoramo was $7,400. So they proposed that's the tooth and create finished brick and CMU jam, lifts, mobilization, demobilization, furnish and install new lentils per sketch, salvage and clean all brick required for reinstallation and wash all repairs. We already protected the server equipment in that room in preparation for the masonry work. So we just fabricated a plywood partition to go around that. So I stand corrected. It was $7,400 for that rough in opening work for that CMU wall for the picture window.
So moved.
So moved. So moved.
We have a move by Mr. Berman and a second by Mr. Ike. Thank you very much. Questions? Comments? All in favor of John Filorama Construction, the amount of $7,400, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Okay,
Okay, and the last quote that I have is from Toll Brothers Incorporated for 2 new interior door slabs, one for the staff room and one for the staff lounge. These are the maple finish 1.75-inch door slabs. In the amount of $2,811.20.
So moved.
moved by Mr. Ike,
Second.
second by Mr.
Second.
Berman. Questions? All in favor of Toll Brothers in the amount of $2,811.20, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Nays? Motion passes.
Okay. And then we can jump to one invoice next if you like. Sasea Construction Company.
Go to the change order first.
What change order?
It's for Sasea, if you go down, invoice Sasea Construction Sidewalk, October 9th, 2024.
Oh, he turned us off. Glenn, can we do the change order first, please?
Sure.
104,
So-
631.
Okay, sure. So that change order is from Millennium Builders. It's in the amount of $4,589.85.
So
This is
moved.
to, okay, thank you. That's to install the backflow preventer that is non-existent on the domestic water line coming into the building. And to also add a backflow preventer for the irrigation system. Both will be located indoors in the custodial room on the exterior block wall.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Ike, second.
Second.
Jesse, thank you very much. Questions? All in favor of the, this is, contractor, CRCOG, oh, Millennium, this is Millennium.
Yes, Millennium
In the
Builders.
amount of $45.8985, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Thank you very much. Motion passes. What
And
else?
then I've got 2 applications for payment from Millennium Builders. The first is for the storefront and teen room.
Hang on a sec.
We don't have that. Does that sound?
That came out in the
Oh, the last one, okay.
at the bottom, second one from the bottom there, storefront and teen room, pay rec one.
Yep.
It's $16,911.95 for the portion of work that has already been completed on the storefront and teen room, including all of the CMU, demolition, and framing, metal framing and electrical work.
So moved by Mr. Berman. We have a second?
Second.
Second
Second.
by Jesse. Thank you. Questions? All in favor of approving application number 1, $16,911.95. Please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
Next is the, also from Millennium Builders, for the ADA restroom renovation. The portion of work that has been completed in the amount of $43,835.23.
So moved.
Thank
Okay, moved by
you.
Mr. Ike, seconded by Mr. Berman. I'm sorry, did you have anything else, Glenn?
No, that was it. I just have the one invoice for Sisea Construction.
All right, all in favor of approving this invoice, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. All right. All right, Glenn, you
And-
are good?
Yeah, lastly, I just, the invoice for Sisea Construction.
Oh, you do have that, okay.
Yes. So this is in the amount of $33,183. This is for the completed tear out and replacement of 1,980 feet of sidewalk on the east side of McMahon from the east vestibule out to Blue Hills Avenue.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike, seconded by Mr.
Second.
Berman. All right, any questions, comments? All in favor of approving Sisea's invoice, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Nays? Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Glenn, what about the invoices for AA Glass, Sign Pro, and SNE Building Systems?
Those were SNE, that's complete.
Okay,
Yeah. I believe we've already covered that in a previous meeting.
okay.
All right.
That's it for me.
All right, Glenn, thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, now we have one other invoice.
We have other invoices, yeah.
Other
Okay.
invoices.
We have several invoices.
I didn't look at the last email, obviously. Okay, what do we have first?
Let's start with, atrium. Can everyone hear me? For the atrium, we have 3 invoices, and just a backstory. Well, one is for September 2024. That's under the new extended portion, which is now being billed at 16,000 per month. And then also for October, because we're behind in getting the September one done. But we also have an invoice going back to December 2023, which is for some lighting. So I'm not sure if that goes under the project or under the operations budget, but we found out this was never paid. So it's for $12.19 for chargeback. I'll bring up the details so we can determine where and how it's paid for. Once they were sending me the current invoices, they had these as additional outstanding invoices. And I looked back to see if they were paid, and this one was never paid. It's equivalent to when we paid the keys, that they had keys cut to go into the atrium. So I'm not sure where they were reprogramming the lights and all of those things. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, there was lighting work. It would come under our project,
Mhm.
not library operations.
Okay. So this goes back to December of 2023, so we're way behind on this one. And as I mentioned, I did confirm it was not paid prior, only the keys was paid. So this is invoice from November 2023 to the atrium for $1,219.82.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Jesse,
Second.
second by Mr. Berman. Questions, comments?
I just had one comment real quick. This kind of rings a bell as far as the reprogramming of the lighting. I want to say there was some conflict. This was after the emergency lighting circuit was installed. And for some reason, I recall Nancy at the time had an argument that what they were trying to charge us as far as reprogramming was not a legitimate charge. At the end of the day, we tapped into the proper circuits, we left everything operable, and I just remember that conversation from several months ago, that there was a dispute for reprogramming the lights. I mean, if you want me to follow up on any documentation that I have, or if everyone's okay with it, I just do remember there was a conflict.
Well, it sounds like it's worth questioning then.
Okay, let me
Back
dig
to
into
follow
my
up with
notes.
that.
Okay,
So we will hold and investigate.
yeah, so
Okay.
let me
Do
look
we have
into
a
that
motion
tomorrow.
to table this invoice? Moved and seconded by Clark. Thank you very much. All in favor of tabling this? Say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're tabling that invoice. Thank you very much. Did Allison have her hand up about that invoice? I thought I saw something flash on the screen.
Yeah, I did, 'cause I have a question about the parking signage as well. They did that on their own, the atrium, and then charged us for it, and I'm actually not sure where that ended up either. Whether they took the signs down for library parking or not, after we said that we never requested it, so I'd like to look into that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty, so as we are aware, the regular lease on the atrium ended August 2024. I'm not sure where the overall negotiations stand, but as of now, we have an invoice for this one is September for 16,000.
So moved.
Mr. Ike,
I'll second approval. of
Second
invoice
by
number
Mr.
3888, amount of $16,000.
yeah, I have not heard anything official as far as negotiation. It's being handled by the town manager's office and town attorney. Unofficially, I did hear that there was no interest from the landlord in negotiating, but that was an unofficial source. In the meantime, we have a motion on the floor. Questions? All in favor of approving the month of September?
So that's invoice 3888 for the September for 16,000.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you.
And we also are in the realm for the October lease, invoice 3977, also for $16,000 to the atrium.
Moved.
So moved.
Berman, seconded by Mr. Ike. Thank you very much. Questions? Clark?
Not a big, I just didn't know. Approved September and then October, when do we typically pay rent?
This would be when we typically pay for October.
Yes, it's because we are behind in the September rent, because when they sent the September amount, there were two discrepancies on it. One was that $1,200. I just saw outstanding 1,200 with no backup. So that's why I went and got this backup that showed it was for the programming. So that took some time. The second thing also for their August rent, they were charging us $16,000 also. And I'm like, nope, the lease expired in August. The $16,000 doesn't start until September. So they had to do some revision on that. So that took some time on the September. And at the same time, the October one came due. So we're doing both of them now.
Thanks for that explanation. Any other questions? Okay, all in favor of the October lease payment for $16,000, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. You?
So that's it for the atrium. Next, we have, which one you have on deck? TSKP. And we have their monthly invoices, one for Prosser, one for McMahon.
I'll move approval of invoice number 220103-25 for McMahon in the amount of $4,571.50.
Moved by Mr. Berman,
Second.
second by Mr. Ike. Thank you very much. Questions? All right, all in favor of approving this invoice, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you.
So that was for McMahon. Now this one is the Prosser for September for $21,064.40.
So moved.
Second.
Invoice,
Moved by Mr. Ike, seconded by Mr. Berman.
and that was invoice 200802-33 for September.
Questions? All in favor of approving this invoice, please signify by saying aye.
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 Nays? Motion passes. Thank you.
So that's it for TSKP. We also have Michael Horton.
I'll move approval of
there-
invoice number 21-241 SI.B4 in the amount of $750.
Second.
Second by moved by Mr. Berman, second by Mr. Ike, and all in favor, any questions first? Questions or special inspector? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you.
I'm not seeing that. Go to Jeff. Next one we have is the Big Kahunas. We have Downs for their monthly pay.
You didn't know you're Hawaiian.
Wait a minute. Is this the right one?
Okay, we've got application.
Sorry, I think we have, let me find the right one.
Came out very late today.
Yes,
The last revision.
I will go, since it's a
Sent
big
these
amount.
out and then 2 minutes after I hit the send button, I hear more coming in.
Sharon, want me to email it to you right now?
I'm pulling up the one that was sent.
This one I did get.
And so this is for application number 15 for 1,361,162.62.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Berman. Jesse, you just lost out there.
I see.
Okay, just a comment.
September.
So this puts us roughly at 46% complete on the job, which is very good. Very good. Okay, questions? All in favor of approving application number 15 from Downs Construction in the amount of $1,361,162.62, please say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Motion passes. Thank you. Next time we'll cross the 50% mark. Okay. All right. Is that good for invoices, Sharon?
And we have, we have Colliers.
Oh, Colliers. Don't want to leave Sean out of the mix. Sorry, Sean.
I am. Okay.
I'll move approval of invoice number 987233 in the amount of $9,836.
second,
Moved by Mr. Berman, second by Mr. Ike. Any questions? That's our normal monthly fee for
Yep.
couriers.
It is. Thank you, Bob.
All in favor of approving this invoice, please say aye.
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you.
And I'm making sure, I think that covers all.
That's all.
Yes.
All right, we thank you. A lot of important business there. So let's move on to our final special topic, which is our brick selection. And we have Tai Sue Kim here with us. Jeff is on the line. Richard is with us also. Who goes first? Seniority, Tai Sue?
Hello? Hello?
Would you like me to put?
yeah, what's the
pictures
best
on the
way to
screen?
show both sides?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now.
Yeah, yes, for this audience, this is best, but we cannot see it. Okay.
No, but we have a live picture, which is just as good.
Well, well, some of you have seen that. Some of you have seen this, the two sample wall there at the site. So, you know, I like to explain to you why this brick becomes such a big issue here. About a year ago, down bidded project, and at that time we selected three potential brick use based on just small sample board. And including in that three options was Glengarry smooth, fresh red brick. And
That's the one on the left in the photo.
one on the left, this one, or one of the left. And I understand that was the lowest bid price, but brick is not really approved until we see a sample wall and final approval. That's, everybody understand that. Now, about that time, we were doing construction of a big project in Farmington High School. And that project was using same brick, the Glengarry smooth, fresh, red, this one. They built first sample wall, looked good, so we approved it. And they started building, one section, and that's this. Looks good. Yeah, that's the brick we approved. And then as construction move on, strange things happen. You see, we start to see this brick like this. And we enlarged this one area here. This is nothing like what we approved. So Glengarry brick supplier and also a construction company agree this is nothing like what we approved. And they agreed to hire staining company from Ohio. And they stained all this dark brick to make it all look like this. So they stained thousands of brick. And so obviously we're not very happy with the Glengarry smooth, fresh red brick. And so when the beginning of this Presser library project, we were very alerted about brick issues, and we really repeatedly asked Glengarry, send us some sample brick. Some reason we never received it. And so one day they just sent a big block of a brick, and they built a sample wall. that it's this they built. And when I saw it, it's just totally unacceptable. And it's just like a repeat of what happened in uh, um, Farmington High School. So the Mason contractor is the same guy, the Connecticut Mason, and he knew the problem with this brick. And he offered this brick. And he said he can get this one within 4 to 5 weeks without.
That's the one
any-
on the right in the photo.
Yeah, without
Referring to.
any additional cost. So I like this brick and this meets our design intent. And I do strongly recommend you accept this brick as an alternate brick from this Glengarry's brick. Because this is so unknown quality and I'm afraid of getting into big trouble in future if we go to the route. And I know you're concerned about schedule. And we were told this brick would be available in 4 to 5 weeks. And maybe schedule wise, maybe project delay a couple weeks. That's what I was told.
March 31st is the date.
Okay, okay,
About a month.
yeah, okay. So I really cannot recommend to you this brick. I do recommend go with this brick, considering all this issue we faced with before. So maybe Jeff, are you there?
Yes.
Jeff Brown? Yeah.
Yes, I'm
You
here.
want to add something to what I said?
Yes. Yes. So I think the fundamental thing, without getting too much into the history, is we reviewed a submittal in November of 2023. Downs placed the order for the brick on the left in April. We were notified of the issues at Farmington in May. So I think Downs did their due diligence to try to see if that Glengarry can get a different plant to meet what we needed, because the submittal showed roughly a 15 to 20% of dark brick, and the remaining is the normal brick. What showed up on the site was more like 50% dark and 50% regular. So everybody's aware of the situation. I think Downs is doing some due diligence as well as CT Masonry. And I would agree fully with Sue to approve the one on the right. Basically, the fact is this building is going to last beyond our lifetime. And a couple weeks to make that difference for the community, I think is a worthwhile endeavor.
All right, well, I want to thank everybody because it's been a process to make this potential change on the brick. So appreciate everybody's effort to get us there. It's not costing us anymore. For the materials, we appreciate Downs absorbing, you know, the extra time here because brick was supposed to be starting already. Obviously, there's still a lot of other work going on the site, you know, while we're waiting for this new brick. But can we have a motion to approve the brick shown on the right on this picture?
So moved.
By Mr. Lake. Second by Jesse. Thank you very much. Questions? Comments? Mr. Berman?
Just a quick question. Did I hear you correctly that instead of March 7th for substantial completion date, we're now looking at March 31? Or what? Yeah, roughly?
Sorry, we can't hear Bob.
My question was, instead of looking at roughly March 7th for substantial completion date, now we're looking at a date something like March 31st. And the answer was yes. Yeah, I think we can live with that.
Yeah, you know, our published schedules to date have been the end of March. And I realize Downs Construction was hoping to do better than that, the March 7th date. So it seems like we can't do better than what we've been publishing at this point. So at least we're on target with what we've all been looking at for some time. Anthony?
So we're still going through the schedule and construction activities every day to, even bring this in further with utilizing, premium time where we can on select trades that we think we could catch up that are on critical path, as well as stack finished trades within the space to continue to push the job forward. That March 31st date is right now, and we're hoping to bring that back again, utilizing those techniques and what's available to us. All right.
Okay. Other questions from the committee? All in favor of approving the brick on the right, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Okay, the brick is approved. That's the triangle red common.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Taisu. Okay. Okay, so that is all our special agenda items. Our next meeting is scheduled for the 16th, which is a week from tonight, and I will bring out notice to cancel that meeting. We have plenty of meetings in October. We'll be meeting on the 30th. And that will bring us to public comments from the public. Mr. McClary, welcome.
Can I have the mic? Thank you, to members of the building committee. I'm Councilman McCleary. I just here today because I attended the library Board of Trustees meeting yesterday evening. And to me, it seemed like there is a lot of miscommunication between the plans of this committee and the experts who are putting the move together. I heard it on, I think, Monday night at the governance committee meeting, and I heard it again last night. And so I would ask that this committee please try its best to communicate with the Library Board of Trustees. My understanding is that there will not be two moves, that starting March 1st, the collection for McMahon will go to McMahon, and the collection, and I know this is all fluid, for Prosser will go to Prosser, but there was some concerns that if you put the collection in there, that the public still won't have access to it and the service will be cut. So if you guys could address that as a committee on the service delivery and what's going to be cut, I think that would be good for the Library Board of Trustees and the staff. Also, I heard that the McMahon collection cannot fit into the McMahon building because it is 50% smaller. And so if you guys can address that with the library builder committee, I would really appreciate it. And then my final thoughts that I want to address is the extension of the the extension of the MetLife building. My understanding is that the landlords did not want to move the price from $16,000 a month, and I think wanted an additional $10,000, a 10-month lease. If we were to extend that lease, would we still have a 2-month shutdown and disruption to services for our residents? I think the library building committee should communicate these things to the Library Board of Trustees. In addition, if there's any additional contingency left at McMahon, could we use that contingency to extend the lease so that there's no service delays or service delivery cuts? I know last night I took a lot of heat, which I think was, I don't think it was appropriate because I couldn't answer a lot of those questions. All I wanted to go there and tell them was that I wasn't leading the charge for us not moving into MetLife, and that it was a task force who have been working together with the staff, and everybody made the decisions to move forward together. So if you can address those things with the library building committee, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments from the public?
There's no hands online.
Mr. Merritt?
Thank you. I hadn't really said most of what I was going to say, and I really appreciate his bringing that up. I think it's very important that we get an extension of that lease. And I know we put $100,000 aside for it, which I understand you don't even need, but maybe you do need it if you're going to extend it further. Because a lot of the problems, the disruption that's being caused, the library services in the spring would be eliminated if they could stay where they are for another 3 months. And that would be solve a lot of their problems. And the question of whether you can put those books in the unfinished library in a proper setting with heat controls and everything, March, I think it'll be March 1st. It just seems rather tenuous, I mean, at best. Maybe you're going to get there, but I mean, you've got these problems. And so I just think it's a pretty small thing and we put the money up there for it anyway. So please extend that lease. That would solve so many problems for the library and it would be really appreciated. If you can try to do that. I also like to point something else out on the brick. I think your decision was wise here today, but the red brick was one of the things that was a condition of a lot of people voting for that library building. Because that red brick was kind of the color we had for other buildings in town. It was the preferred look for towns and buildings in the center of town. So that is kind of important. And I think what your substitute does stick close enough to it so that wouldn't be a problem. So I think your decision was wise. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments from the public? Anybody online? Anybody online, Sharon? Want to speak?
Just want to make one note. This is Sharon Gentles Harris. In regards to the budget for the extension, and I know we've covered it various ways, but just some factual points. As Joe alluded to, we've put $100,000 in the budget for the extension. From my calculation, we know it's an estimate. If we move, it's approximate, what, June of 2025, maybe? I know that's a moving target. So from September to June, that's 10 months. And if we're paying $16,000 a month, that's $160,000. The budget is $100,000. We have that $60,000 difference. So that's something that we have to keep in mind. That's all.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, then I will take a motion to adjourn.
moved.
By Mr. Ike, seconded by Mr. Berman. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned, and I thank everyone.